Hello everyone, it is Voodoo here, and welcome to my third vlog this week. This week where I'll be putting up a new vlog every day, Monday through Friday. This is the third vlog. You will be seeing this go live on Wednesday, April 17th. And this is going to be under the category of special vlogs. So that's where you can find this video. That's the playlist you can go to find this if you're unsure, or if you want to tell other people where to find this video. It will be in the special vlogs playlist, alright? And in this video I'm going to be addressing the state of Voodoo's Brew, the podcast that my good friend Brandon and I do on this channel. I'm going to be talking a little bit about the state of it, how once again our plans, our ideas, our goals for the show have changed again. And just to kind of update you guys on the status of the show. Now, the first thing to say, it's very important that I get this out at the beginning of the video because I know a lot of people don't like to watch these whole videos, but Voodoo's Brew is not canceled. It's not going away. It's not finished or over. It is still very much an ongoing series. So I want to let everybody know that I'm not here to tell you that Voodoo's Brew no longer exists and we won't be making them, because we will. So that's the first important thing I want to mention at the outset of this video. But the reason behind making this video is because a few weeks ago, or like a month ago, probably even longer, I made another video, a big announcement video, talking about bringing back the podcast, bringing back Voodoo's Brew. Brandon and I had all these plans for it, but specifically that the brew was going to be taking place every 2 weeks on a certain day. And we did it, the first episode. 2 weeks after that, we were planning on making another episode, but Brandon and I, unfortunately, both got sick at the same time, right around when we were supposed to do the next episode, so we didn't get it done. And then the next 2 week period after that, which was last week, I guess, on Tuesday, our normal night, Brandon and I got on Skype, and we were prepared to film our next episode of The Brew. And we sat there talking to one another for a little while, thinking about what in the world we could actually talk about to make a full podcast. And we sat there and we talked, and we basically realized that we had nothing to talk about. There had been no real gaming news. Brandon had not played the games that I had played, which was Tomb Raider, Bioshock Infinite. I had not seen some of the things on TV and stuff that he had seen, certain shows. And we really had nothing to talk about, so we wound up not doing the episode. And what it's kind of led us into now is understanding the fact that because Brandon and I do not live in the same area, he lives on the West Coast, I live in Louisiana, we don't have everyday experiences with one another that would cater to having a lot of funny, interesting information to bring you every couple of weeks. The interactions that we have are usually based around YouTube. We don't have quite the frequent interaction that we used to have last year, where we would talk on Skype many nights and you know, be talking a lot, mainly because back then, again, Brandon operated his own YouTube channel, which he's not actively doing right now, and we were in constant communication over that, and you know, I think overall we were less busy people, at least I know Brandon was, and so we were in constant communication all the time. We had things that we could talk about every couple of weeks with the brew, but we don't have that now. So what it's unfortunately led to, maybe not unfortunately, but ultimately what it has led to, is us again shifting our paradigm, our thought on the podcast and where it's going and where we'd like to go with it. So, I'm here to tell you that Voodoo's Brew, we are no longer putting the every 2 weeks restriction on the podcast, okay? We can no longer sit here and promise you that every 2 weekends, every other weekend, you will see an episode. Because as we found out, we don't necessarily every 2 weeks have enough information that we can discuss to make a full podcast, alright? So, that's the first announcement, okay? So what's basically going to happen is we are still going to be doing the podcast, but we're only going to be able to do it when we have enough content or enough things that we want to talk about to do a full podcast. So, things like if we do playthroughs of a game together. If there's a big event in gaming, like of course EE3 conference and other you know, events that go on with gaming. If there's a particular issue, a particular series of topics that we feel are good to make a podcast, then we will make a podcast. But we're not going to put all right, every 2 weeks expect one. Because what we don't want to get into the business of doing, which we have in the past and we're already off to doing it again, we don't want to get in the business of making promises that we can't keep. We don't want to, build an atmosphere like that around us or the show or my channel or anything like that, because it's something I've been guilty of in the past, of making promises that I couldn't keep, and we've done it before with Voodoo's Brew. We don't want to do it anymore. We know that people don't appreciate that. I wouldn't appreciate it if something that I liked, a show or something, somebody kept saying, oh, it's going to be every 2 weeks, or it's going to be this weekend, and then always reneging and going back and saying, no, it's not, it's delayed, blah, blah, blah. So we don't want to do that anymore to you guys. We don't want to keep promising stuff that we can't deliver on. But there's a multitude of different ways that we could get information and multiple ways that we could gather topics to do episodes. And let me elaborate. Again, as I said, if we do a playthrough together, E3, all that kind of good stuff, we can easily talk about. That's information the two of us can come together, talk about, and do a podcast on. But another huge element, okay, of the frequency of these podcasts and ultimately the success of these podcasts is going to be built around you guys, the viewer participation. And I talked a lot about this in the video where I announced the episode, the series was coming back. But it's something that, quite frankly, I've always struggled with on this channel, and the podcast has as well, of viewer interaction. We get a pretty good amount of views on all of our podcast videos, but the viewer interaction, even though we specifically ask for it a lot of times, isn't necessarily there. But I want to emphasize big time that your viewer interaction is going to drive Voodoo's Brew, because you could not participate, you could not help us out or do anything like that, and you will still get Voodoo's Brew, but it's going to only be when Brandon and I come across information or find things on our own that we can talk about. So it's going to be less frequently, okay? However, if you guys, the viewers, the fans of the show, participate, it could be a lot bigger and better. And what I mean is that if you guys, we made a big deal out of it when we brought the show back about asking questions on the comments of Voodoo's Brew for us to answer in future episodes. And we did get a couple of questions on our last episode, and we were very grateful to the people who left the questions, which again, to this point, have been unanswered. Our apologies. But it wasn't an overwhelming amount of questions as we had maybe hoped, because again, we basically opened it up and said you can ask us about anything. There's two people, Brandon and myself, and you can ask us about pretty much anything, obviously, as long as it's in bounds. And I don't think I have to elaborate as to what's out of bounds, but about games, YouTube, our personal lives, our goals, our careers, anything like that. So there's a plethora of questions that could be asked, and we just aren't getting them. If we got a lot of questions, an overwhelming amount of questions, it's completely feasible and possible that we may be able to do an entire episode of Voodoo's Brew, which is talking about and answering questions. If they're good, thought-provoking questions, discussion starters, things like that, we could easily make an episode or episodes completely with fan questions. That would actually be a lot of fun. It would be a change of pace for us, and it would be great. Unfortunately, we haven't had the questions in order to do that. Another thing that I want to put on the table and open up is for you guys, the viewers, to send us, Brandon and myself, probably myself, because right now, Brandon, again, he has a channel on YouTube, but it's not, he's not on it all the time, so it might be just better to send these things to me, send them to me in a PM on YouTube, but topics that you guys come across that you find that you would like Brandon and I's take on. So if you guys find topics, if you guys have ideas in mind of things that would make for a good discussion or a good podcast, please feel free to send them to me. And again, there's no stupid ideas. You may send a topic or a thought, and I may say, well, you know what, that's a good point, but I don't think it's going to be enough to do a podcast, or I don't think it's going to really work for a very long discussion. That's fine, but there's nothing that's a stupid idea or a stupid topic. You know, I'm open to hearing anything and everything from you guys. So you could send a topic, you know, you want to hear our thoughts on a particular series of games, where it's headed, or just really just anything, games, not games, world news, anything like that. You guys can send us, or like I said, send me, but it'll be us because it'll be for the podcast. You know, topics and ideas that you guys think would make for a good discussion, and you know, if we get good topics and stuff that maybe we didn't think about or we didn't know about, or things that, you know, we just like, okay, well, viewers want to hear about this. Viewers want to hear our thoughts and takes on this. Then we can do an episode based on that. So again, viewer participation can really drive Voodoo's Brew and make and give us more content, more opportunities to do podcasts. And the best thing about it is that the content will be catered toward you. You know, we can do a lot of different things. If we get a really good topic that we really like and we can do a discussion on it, maybe we'll contact you and say, you know what, you know, we really like this topic. We're going to talk about it in a Voodoo's Brew, and we'd love to have you come on the show with us via Skype if you can do it, and join in the conversation with us. We could do that. You know, fan interaction, viewer participation. This is what we want out of this podcast. It's an opportunity for Brandon and I to talk about a lot of different issues, but I really want to use it, you know, both of us really want to use it and gear it towards this being a portal and access to the viewers, to the people who watch our stuff and like it. Because that's what's going to make it fun, enjoyable. It's going to be customized and personalized to you guys if you're the one sending the questions, sending the topics, sending the you know, making up the content of what we discuss. The last thing that I want to bring up is that if Brandon and I are able to get a good viewership live streaming, and I think what we're basically going to more or less have to do is we're just going to have to start live streaming and just see what the results are. And if they're not good at first, that's fine, keep doing it, because then people will realize that we are live streaming these episodes, and they may catch on and join us. So what I'm thinking, I mean, like I said, we pretty much know for sure we're going to be doing a Voodoo's Brew for like E3, alright? So let's just say, I'm not saying this right now because E3 is still a couple of months off, but let's just say we set our date, we're going to do Voodoo's Brew for E3. And we just say, hey, we're going to live stream it. And, you know, a week before E3 or whatever, we start hyping it up. I start making videos, let everybody know, hey, listen, on this date at this time, we're going to be live streaming the brew, be there, we hype it up for a week, let everybody know with plenty enough time when the stream's going to be. And then for the episode, we just hop on and stream. Now, from what I know, and I could be wrong about this, so please, if you know differently, let me know, but I don't believe it's possible, based on the equipment and stuff that I've got, to stream your computer screen on Twitch, although that almost seems impossible to me, because I'm sure people stream PC games and stuff on Twitch. I don't know how to do it. So if anybody knows how to do it for free, or a very cheap way of doing it on Twitch, let me know, because right now I don't know how. I'll keep playing around with it and see if I can figure it out, but I don't know how right now. If I can't do it on Twitch, we can stream it on Ustream, because I already have looked into it and I already have the program, which was free, that allows me to stream my computer monitor onto Ustream. So we can use that, and I believe that you can stream now over YouTube using the Google Plus Hangout or whatever, which I'd have to set up because I don't have that crap, but yeah. So I think you can do that. So we have multiple options that we could go for streaming. It may make sense to do the YouTube streaming that way. You know, when we start streaming, there'll be a notification probably in your subscriptions box that should say that we're live, and we can stream over YouTube. But basically, more or less what the stream would be is, like I said, it would be a stream of both of our faces. It would be a stream of basically my computer screen. Alright, and what you would see is you would see both of our faces on the webcam, and we'll be doing the brew. We'll also be recording it in the normal MP3 audio format that I would then take, edit, and upload to YouTube as I always did. So more or less what the streaming would be is you would get to watch live, you'd get to see Brandon and I on camera, doing the episode early, because we would stream it, on one day, and it would be like 4 or 5 days before it would be released on YouTube. But the coolest and best part about it is that the streams would be completely, again, viewer and fan driven, because, we could interact with you guys live during the show. We can take live questions from you guys. We can simply, you guys can, again, post topics up live for us to discuss. We can, again, have people from the stream call us on Skype, and we can talk to you and have you as part of the show. But again, us streaming is going to be completely viewer-based, because we can stream, but if nobody shows up, there's not going to be anything special about the episode, you know what I mean? It's going to be the same kind of episode it always is, but if people join us for the stream, it'll be very cool and unique, because again, we get to interact live with you guys, answer your questions live, call you guys, bring you onto the show, talk to you, interact. And we would probably do like a pre-show and a post-show, exclusive for the stream, just interacting with people on the stream, not being recorded as part of the episode. I just went German there for a second. I don't know if you heard that. It said part of the episode. It wouldn't be part of the episode that we'd upload to YouTube, but it would be like an exclusive. We'd hop on the stream maybe, half an hour before we want to record, and stay maybe a half an hour when we're done, just exclusively interacting with people on the stream. That could be really great. But again, I just want to emphasize that the quality, I feel like, and the frequency of which Voodoo's Brew happens is going to really be driven by you guys, the viewers. And I can't stress that enough, for Brandon and I, how much that we would appreciate and like you guys to participate, to help us with this, and make it something that's really interactive, really open, really fun, and a way for us to open up to the viewers that I know a lot of YouTubers don't really do. But I really want to make that an integral part of my channel, is being open and talking with you guys, and yeah, I'd love to do it. Brandon would love to do it. It would be a ton of fun. So Voodoo's Brew, definitely not going away. We'll definitely have more in the future. But you guys could really make it happen with high viewership and viewer participation. Send us questions, send us topics. Again, to my PM box here on YouTube, Voodoo51292. Send me a PM about a topic or something that you think would be good for the brew, and then when we do our next episode, I may talk to Brandon. Like I said, we may just hop on and stream it. Whenever the next episode is, we may just say, screw it, we're going to go stream it and see what happens. And we will promote the heck out of it and make sure everybody knows we're streaming it ahead of time. And if you guys show up to the stream, it would be great and it would be a lot of fun. Alright? So, thank you very much. This has been State of Voodoo's Brew. I really hope to hear from you guys. I really hope to have that viewer participation and feedback. I'm excited about it, and of course, as things develop and we plan on making episodes, there will be much more information to come regarding Voodoo's Brew. Alright? So thank you very much for watching. I'm Voodoo51292. I also spoke a little bit for Brandon, so I'm sure that he's with me here in spirit. So sign off for him and his thoughts as well. On State of Voodoo's Brew. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys are excited and ready to participate and have a great time with it. So, alright, one more time, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the future with episodes of Voodoo's Brew. So, see you then. Peace out.